All right, let's just jump right in. For as long as I can remember, we've all been told that our IQ is this fixed number, right? It's like a label that defines our intellectual ceiling. But what if that entire idea is just flat out wrong? What if being smart isn't something you are, but something you do? Today, we're going to explore a completely different way of thinking about this by looking at the habits that can actually build your intelligence. So, let's start with the big one. The question this slide is asking: is your IQ set in stone? Is it this unchangeable number you're stuck with for life? I mean, so many of us have felt that way. You're either a math person or you're just not good with numbers. But that belief, it can be so limiting. And the latest science is offering a much more empowering answer. It's suggesting that the idea of a fixed IQ might just be one of the biggest myths about the human brain. And this lays it out perfectly, doesn't it? On one side, you have the old way of thinking. IQ is a fixed trait, something you were born with. And if you believe that, of course you're going to avoid failure because you see it as proof of your permanent limits. But then you look at the new science, and it flips the script completely. It sees IQ as a malleable skill. It's not something you have, it's something you build. And this view, it makes you want to embrace challenges because you understand that's exactly how you grow. So you're probably wondering, okay, how is that even possible? Well, the answer lies in this really fascinating scientific concept that has totally revolutionized how we understand the brain. It's called neuroplasticity. I know, neuroplasticity sounds like a super complex word, but the idea behind it is actually pretty simple and, well, profound. It's your brain's ability to literally reorganize itself. So don't think of your brain as this static computer that's already been programmed. Think of it more like a dynamic living city map with roads and pathways that can be rerouted and strengthened based on everything you think, do, and experience. Every single time you learn a new skill, your brain is physically changing. This right here is the absolute best analogy for it. Your brain is like a muscle. You don't go to the gym one time and then expect to be strong forever, right? No way. You consistently apply stress, you lift heavy things, and that resistance makes your muscles grow. Your brain works the exact same way. The more you challenge it with difficult stuff, the more new neural connections it forms, and the stronger and faster it actually gets. Okay, so if the brain is a muscle, how do we train it? What are the specific exercises, the mental workout routines? Upgrading your IQ isn't some vague concept. It's about strengthening a very specific set of cognitive functions. So let's open up this mental toolkit and see what's inside. First up, we have metacognition. Honestly, this is your secret weapon for learning anything. It's the ability to kind of step outside your own head for a second and ask, wait, how am I trying to solve this? Is this strategy actually working? What else could I try? When you develop this skill, you become such a more efficient and effective learner because you're not just learning, you're actively directing how you learn. Next up in the toolkit, cognitive control. In our world of endless notifications and distractions, this might just be the most important skill of them all. It's your mental filter. It's that ability to just tune out all the noise, resist those impulses to check your phone, and pour your full attention into what's in front of you. Without strong cognitive control, deep learning is, well, it's pretty much impossible. And finally, there's executive function. I love this description. The CEO of your brain. It's perfect. This is the high-level management system that coordinates everything else. It's what you use to plan a big project, manage your time, and hold multiple pieces of information in your mind at once. That's your working memory, so you can solve a complex problem. It's the whole shebang. So, we have the science, that's neuroplasticity, and we have the tools, metacognition, cognitive control, and executive function. Now for the really crucial part, the framework. How do we actually put all of this together to build a stronger, more capable brain in the real world? This is the secret sauce right here. True cognitive growth, it doesn't happen when things are easy. It happens when you are right on the edge of your abilities, when you're struggling, making mistakes, and then correcting them. This idea of focused struggle is literally the engine of neuroplasticity. It's the signal that tells your brain, hey, pay attention, this is important, we need to build some new infrastructure here. This just highlights the two paths we can take every day. There's the path of ease, where you just stick to what you already know. It's comfortable, sure, but it leads to stagnation. You're just driving over these same old neural highways again and again. But the path of struggle, that's where all the magic happens. By seeking out new challenges that really push you, you are literally forcing your brain to forge new connections and build new skills. That feeling of difficulty, that's the feeling of growth. And here is the whole process, the actual how-to. It's a simple but incredibly powerful loop that you can turn into a habit.
First, you have to actively seek out a challenge that's just a little bit beyond your reach. Second, you engage with it intensely. This is where that cognitive control comes in. You have to block out all the distractions. And third, you reflect and adapt, using your metacognition to analyze what worked, what didn't, and how you can do better next time. That's the cycle. That's how you build intelligence.
So as we start to bring all of this together, you can see this powerful new picture emerging. The entire concept of being smart starts to shift away from being some static score you're given to being a dynamic strategy you use every single day.
And it really all comes down to this idea. The goal isn't to have a high IQ, but to build a more capable mind. You see the difference? Intelligence isn't a possession, it's a project. The focus completely shifts from proving how smart you are to constantly improving how you think. It becomes this ongoing process of construction, where every single focused struggle lays another brick, building a more powerful, flexible, and capable mind.
So I'm going to leave you with this final thought, because this isn't just interesting theory. It's a direct call to action. True growth, real growth, is waiting for you just outside your comfort zone. And that really leaves only one question. What will you choose to struggle with next?